Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode Path of Exile, Settlers of League 3.25. In this episode, I have a PowerPoint presentation of what I describe as the changes, highlights. Lots of changes, and then I put the highlights. So to start it off, I got the logo, and we have, this is the one of the bosses. There's 3 new bosses coming with the new league, and then he has this circle of fire, and that's you fighting him, and then his health bar. Let's get into it. There we go. So I needed to start it off with that they added gold. It auto picks up like azurite, which is huge, because if you had to pick up all those tiny amounts of gold, like 80 gold at a time, and then we saw that they had 5 million gold, like I show in this picture, he has 4.7 million gold, so if you had to pick up 80 at a time, it'd be a lot of clicks. So they showed it auto picks up like azurite, and the reason they can make it auto pick up is because it's not tradable. But it has tons of new uses to basically use the new features that they're adding. The features are locked behind the gold, and then we'll see how we actually get gold besides just killing monsters. But anyways, I saw drops of 1,000, worker wages of 1,000. The total worker costed like 10 or 11,000, whatever that meant. Let's get into it more because I gotta show you what the gold is for now. Okay, so auto map runners. They added auto mapping. You hire workers and then they run these maps that you put in, and you notice I showed the picture, there's like this 12 map slot thing, and you put in maps and then they get run, and in a later picture they had a timer, but basically just imagine that bar on the first one is a timer, and then they said your worker can die in the map, so you have to be careful. They cost gold, your workers, they have different stats, levels, they take different amounts of time, should be similar to us running the maps. It's a simulated map running, so the only thing is that they said, imagine if you put your miner to put him into the maps, and now he's not very good and he dies immediately. There was also, like, compared to the really good, like, let's say you somehow had an Exile that was specialized in mapping that had, anyways, Valdo's 100% Delhi auto map runners, and they die within 1 second. Like, you can put them into the hardest of content, they said, but don't expect it to be able to do it unless you min-max. Maybe you actually can eventually. We don't know yet. We don't know how powerful they really can get, but it'll be actually really crazy. This is really cool, and then this is with gold. Next, they also added the currency exchange. They also called it a currency trade market. So it's not instant. At least it didn't seem to be instant, because they had Faustus give it to you while you were mapping. He completed the trade while you were mapping. Gold is the tax. So it can work while you're offline, but it's not instant. And it can work while you're mapping. Gold is the tax, so it costs gold for this service. And then it's basically like the tax. Yeah, that's what the cost is, besides just trading items freely. And then it's basically like the Grand Exchange from old school RuneScape, and this will be nice against people not replying, price fixing, and manual trading. So it'd be the diff of like standing in a bank and typing selling RuneSim 30k and being able to auto trade it over the Grand Exchange. You have tax now. It's like a 1% tax. And then it caps at like 5 million gold. So if something costs like billions, then it doesn't cost more than 5 million in the tax. So maybe there's a cap on the gold tax. The other thing with OSRS is they add limits on certain items of how much you could buy within 4 hours, and then your limits would reset after 4 hours. So I wonder if we'll see limits in this too. And yeah, it only affects like if you're trying to manipulate it, I guess, or own everything, which it was the worry for them, because it can make it easier. That's why locking it behind gold, and you actually have to get gold, and you actually have to play to get gold. We'll see how it all works out. New regrets replaced with gold. So respecs cost gold and get more expensive the higher level you are. So you can see here the guy had gold. He refunded 2 things, got 2 points back. The next one's going to cost another 86. He was refunding 3 things, or 4, but you can see how much he has after he would apply the refund. And then you can see how much it costed per, and you can see his points. So this is really sick and really cheap, and this scaled up to like thousands of gold later as you get to a higher level. So it's cheap in the beginning and gets more expensive later. Pretty cool. Seems good. Makes you able to respec early more, I think, and less late. Well, you'll still be able to later because you should have more gold, hopefully. But then it does add tax to refunding more if it's more expensive at higher, depending. So then they also added the black market gold gamble. So you can see that there's all these bases, and then you can choose to roll a random base for 12,527 gold. Then they also said this isn't just a random item, so they're better rolled random items. They use a lot of the corpse modifiers. They gave the specific example of modifier tier rating to improve the random items from the black market, so that would delete the lower tier modifiers from even being rollable on the item, therefore making the item automatically roll with better modifiers on average. So it's not the same as normal loot. This is like Necropolis meets ground drops, but you don't have the choice of the modifiers. It's just, it is better though, they say. And then it's, yeah, gold gambling. So you can see how there's a lot of uses for your gold. There's a lot of options, and it's obviously going to, you probably still don't really want to spend too much on your refunds. Maybe you don't use this too much until you actually have a lot of gold, and you can use this without it like taking all of it, because unless you're making more gold, then this is just a tax, and these cost gold, and if they die, and yeah, so this actually might be pretty good. Depends on how good the items are after you roll them, right? We'll just have to try and find out, I guess. And it also depends on the prices, because the prices probably depend on your level. And then do you like get a specific character to a specific level to roll the black market, and then you don't like get it past the certain level because you wanted it for that specific breakpoint for the cost and the, yeah, anyways, they added recombinators. Isla brought us back the recombinator technology, but no sentinel mods, and it uses the disenchanting dust and gold instead of being a tradable item. So instead of being able to trade somebody a recombinator and have stacks of recombinators, it's a service from Isla that uses 2 resources, disenchanting dust and gold, both new. Disenchanting dust is a new service that we get where we can disenchant items, gear to get this dust, and they showed we could send a shipment of 2,400 disenchanting dust to this faraway place, Calgur or whatever, or no, it was the other one. 1,400 kilometers, and it could have 82% risk, and it's like, that's a lot of dust. And then they were showing that one of these recombinators was taking like 1,000 something dust, so it's pretty expensive to recombinate. Maybe it depends on the levels of the stuff and the level of you, and maybe it is the item levels of the item, so that that's cheaper early so you can actually use it, and later, well, it's going to be hella expensive on actually insane items on top of the base item that you risk in the recombination. Like it seems like it'll cost more than recombinators, but then it is the same thing. Like it's like the gold version of recombinators with this disenchanting dust, and then I don't know that that's tradable. That the disenchanting dust is actually tradable. I know that we can send it to the harbor based on what they showed us, but it doesn't seem tradable for recombinators. Endurance charges are changed. They don't give 4% elemental resistance anymore, and instead they give 4% elemental damage reduction, while still giving 4% physical damage reduction. So then I showed a picture. They showed the actual stat page. So 4% elemental damage reduction per endurance charge and the physical damage reduction. This is so sick. Okay. That's huge. Juggernaut. Big buff. No reservation. And it's like, Ralakesh's impatience and all that shit. Banners changed. So it's still an aura, but there's no reservation. It just costs 13 mana. It has a 1-second cooldown. It has a duration. It's an active skill. You have to stack Valor. So basically the new ones are more active, but might be strong enough for 1 gem slot. It really depends if they can get stacks without needing melee combat. I'm not sure on all of them yet. We'll have to see and find out. But we used to use Defiance Banner last season. We stopped using Dread Banner. Rest in peace, the Impale. And yeah, so we just lost increased armor and evasion otherwise, on top of the grace and determination nerfs. I didn't actually mention it in here, so I should say it, that yeah, they get less armor and evasion, the flat amount, but they keep the more armor and evasion. Yeah. Magic Find was changed. Item quantity is basically removed as a stat, and in most cases changed to rarity. The reason why I say most cases is because in some of the cases they're not changed to rarity and they're changed to something else. Like Ventors, instead of getting more rarity, it got mana reservation efficiency of skills. So that's pretty cool. It has 12% reservation. And then in most cases it's changed to rarity, so you can get a lot of rarity now. Like on this boot, you can see 36 rarity instead of the 20 quant. So this is probably like 18 quant. Now it became 36 rarity, so twice as much. And goddamn. Rip Goldworm, rip quant. Holy shit. 6 slot for the map device. So the 5th slot is unlocked by either a 10-way invitation or a non-Valdo T17 map, and then whichever one you didn't do is how you get the 6th one. So probably most people will do the 10-way invitation for their 5th, and now they can get the 6th the same way as they got their 5th last season of doing the non-Valdo T17 map. So look at that shit. 6 slots now. Bro, we're moving up to 10 really fast, and it's because of the Sextants becoming scarabs thing. You could have 10. Nameless Seer. This is gigantic. This is like the Shaper Stronghold. Okay, so you can still find a free good unique from the Nameless Seer. That's normal Nameless Seer, okay? But on T16, new option. Scry a map. You can swap the div card drops between 2 maps. So they showed here in the thing, I took the pictures. They took Defiled Cathedral with the Apothecary, and now the atlas shows you the cards that drop in the map on the atlas just by hovering it. So you can see, I took the picture of Apothecary and Defiled Cathedral, and this was Atoll with Destination. And, well, first I should technically say the example. So map can only be used once. So you swap Apothecary to your favorite map instead of Crimson Temple. Except Crimson Temple isn't on the Atlas this league, and they moved all the cards around. So just use the new map with Apothecary. So it's Defiled Cathedral with Apothecary, which already had it, but now it makes sense of what I'm saying. So then Atoll has the Destination, Watcher's Eye 2 Implicit Corrupted, and then they show that it changed to the Apothecary on Atoll because they swapped it. First I thought this was they moved Apothecary to Atoll, but no, they did it with the Scrya map with the Nameless Seer, and then it has this purple line showing that you did this, and how you can only do this once. So you're not going to Defiled Cathedral and move this to like 6 different maps and have 6 lines off of one. It's just one line. These 2 are now not like restricted. They can't be used with any others. So you'd have to have another map with Apothecary if you wanted to make another Apothecary map. Yeah. This can only do one. And they showed a pretty good example, honestly, too. Because people like Atoll, especially coming up with Ritual in a second. So Blight, double anointed amulets from Blight Ravage maps on the left, 2 annoyance, okay, and then Prismatic Oil, new annoyance. This is Prismatic Oil, and it's only from Blight maps and Blight Ravage maps. Selective Precision, first and final shots of barrage sequences fire projectiles that return to you. So there was like 18 or like 24 of these. I could see them on the Atlas passive tree, but I was waiting for them to update the tree. And then they also mentioned that you can find Blight in the campaign. So can you even drop Blight maps in the campaign? They didn't say that part. They just kind of show like a real quick teaser of the campaign of like, you're looking forward to finding Blight in the campaign. It's like, what? Okay, so new oil, double anointed blight ravage drops, double anointed amulets from blight ravaged. And then can you break these down with, or did they delete that? They deleted the breaking down of anointed amulets, right? And it seemed like they nerfed blight in maps with the atlas, but we'll have to see and find out through actually trying it. And then ritual has massive changes. So basically new ritual base, changes to ritual exclusive base, new unique items, didn't show it here. Wildwood corpses are back. Perfect judgmental spirit, imperfect dark marionette. But they're in ritual and they're rebalanced, whatever that means. And a fragment for King of the Mist boss fight is in ritual. So you can look forward to finding that. It doesn't drop that which was taken. Instead, it drops Parandis Pack from the last league, but it's renamed to Meaning of Light. And so this is the one where you could get like Chaos Res on the nearby passives and the increased Chaos damage and the stuff like that. And then, yeah. So I mostly put here the two bases. So +2 socketed skill instead of the -2. Huge. That's an implicit. So you could technically get the +2 skill and then the +2 minion and then the plus. You also have you could roll the fossil on. You could get a lot of levels. It's kind of cool. It's a armor ES base though, and then you have armor evasion base, and then 4 to max chaos res. Like these are decent. And then, yeah, Spectres are back, but rebalanced, so we'll see. But then, really cool. Okay. Wildwood is back. So they showed you running through the Wildwood again with the Wisps. And then Wisps are back, but there's no NPCs, so you're not getting the extra ascendancy of the charms or the Warden or any of that. They added Warden in replace of Raider, so there would have only been 2 NPCs basically, and then they added the corpses to ritual, so there's really no NPC for the corpse thing either. And then it would pretty much just be charms, and then are they just gonna power creep everybody with charms? Yeah, and that which was taken, yeah, but no, denied. We're weak as fuck. Okay, and then yeah, you got Wisp though, and you can get more than just last league with a scarab, so it feels like people should be really happy about this. But then Magic Find is nerfed. So will yellow be as useful without having all the quantity gear? Blue's still good, you get currency. Purple rarity, you have more rarity than ever, so I think that people should be able to print uniques more than ever. And then maybe it's like really good to have a lot of uniques because of the disenchanting dust. Like, you know how I said you could break down, you need to break down gear for disenchanting dust? Maybe uniques give more because it's just based on rarity. And so then you have a salvage item sync for uniques to keep them valuable, and you would just do it yourself. They added Sentinels back. Sentinels are back, so they already had Recombinator through the Isla, and then they're like, let's also add Sentinels, now that the Recombinator is separate from the Sentinel, and then they brought back Sentinel with no tree and no crafting, so it's just a random Sentinel you find like an essence, you interact to repair it, and then you see how it has ultimatum reward, and then it starts zapping shit, and now you kill them and you get your reward. So you don't have the like control of the tree and making it as good as possible, like as rewarding as possible, and be doing exactly what you want, and being as easy as possible. It now is just going to be random, so you're going to get basically random empowerment, so this could really fuck you up because they can get really hard when this goes over 100 and stuff. And then you also have the number of enemies, but you also had there was this other one, it was called Sentinel Power. They didn't even mention it here, so like it's really concerning for me. It's like Sentinel Power was how difficult the mob was, like toughness, and they added toughness, So then I wonder how those stack up, how they compound. But also, this is just a stalker. Emberstone, it was a shitty sentinel. We had like the really cool ones when you combined them and you could keep them ancient and stuff. And then it would do a lot of enemies, big empowerment. And empowerment was good because that was reward. And then you could also have the chance for reward, and you would get the Recombinator reward. That was the best one, and now you can't even get that Sentinel reward, and you would get Sentinels. Now you can't get that. So like the best reward from it is also gone. And then Sentinel power, you would skip it unless you were trying to level up your controller or you, because it would give you experience for the controller and you, but it made it harder. It doesn't give you more reward, it only made it harder if you didn't need the level, if you didn't need the XP. So that's why I say, oh god. Okay, so random is not as cool as the crazy control we had. And I liked the crafting, and I liked the tedium, I guess you would say. But then Calandra League 2. Reflecting Mist generates 2 pieces of gear, mirrored reflected, and then they're inverse. Crazy. And then so sim, but you don't have to do the tablet of building the lake. The lake is just gone. Reflecting Mist can also generate a currency item to be used on a piece of gear to reflect it. And it's tradable. So Reflecting Mist, 1 of 10, unpredictably reflects a rare amulet or ring, breaking it into 2 mirrored halves with reflected modifiers. Jesus. Chisels. New chisels for rarity, pack size, currency, div, scarab. So 5 new chisels, and then they show enhancing item rarity, procurement, avarice is currency, and then they show how it says more currency with 4 of them. It was 25% more currency per. Holy shit. Magic Find became no, it's also reminds me of the T17 more currency mods. And more scarabs and more div. And then pack size and rarity. So it's very much like the T17 non-Valdo, leading into the T17 non-Valdo. 55% monster life reduction and some damage. I think they said 30, but I'm not exactly sure. It may have changed even. But yeah, you could see 50% more scarab. So it's the same thing. That's like having 2 of the chisels. And then you can actually use chisels on this to get pack size and stuff now, it says. And Val Orbs. So you can add more currency to maps now, 100% and stuff, instead of the 20% quality, which is the 20% quantity. Yeah, it's really cool. And you can corrupt T17s. Quality of life from the teasers. Static life bars, so the Maven, big ass life bar. You got pickup range, that's all thanks due to the corpses. We had infinite range on that. You didn't have to backtrack to pick up a corpse, it just picked up from anywhere on the screen, and they increased the pickup range of normal loot now, so that's really sick. And then this is like one of my favorite changes of all. Auras persist through death. Oh my god, I don't have to turn on my auras when I die doing them. Holy shit, Cast and Death Portal is back, baby. Oh my god. That's incredible. The league start's gonna be insane. That alone, dude. Oh my god. That is insane. Look at all the smiley faces. Who put that? What the... Holy moly, dude. There's so much shit here. And they even said they didn't even list everything. The patch note doesn't list everything because there's so many changes. So, yeah. And then some of the stuff is like they literally were just getting it done just like a week before this. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how much they got done, and I really look forward to this. And all these changes are insane, and so much stuff is back, and so much new stuff, and so many cool things, and like so much to try, and the gold and all the changes, and like that is crazy. Nameless Seer, once you hit a T16 you could swap the... Oh my god, gotta hit T16s as fast as possible, bro. I need to scry a map to swap the apothecary to the map of my choice. Holy shit. And no more Crimson Temple, dude. What a patch. It's corpses, everything, it's all here, dude. I wonder what the rebalance means. Goodbye banners. Holy shit. The currency exchange. Well, either way, leave a comment of what you guys are thinking about all this. If you guys made it to this part in the video, and you like the vid, you like this, hey, hit that like button. And if you guys hit the like button, you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified of the league start and the upcoming stuff and my filter and the actual you know, playing the league. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.